All right. Monday night, Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day to everybody. I'm sure we all did great things. Family barbecue, 3-day weekend, etc., etc. Some people had
Hmm.
4. Yada yada yada. A little bit of news. I didn't even talk to the guys about it, but that's okay. Little news action. Little GI Joe talk. Frank Miller, some Lantern stuff. He-Man Vision. Market report. I picked up an estate sale comic books. We'll talk about that in pickups.
I can't
I
wait
got
to. I can't wait to see that.
Oh, it's gonna be brutal. You're gonna be like, yeah. Well, we'll talk about stories, but it's okay. I've completed a book that I've taken 4 years to complete. It reminds me of this. The mega
Yeah.
powers coming together, so it's gonna be epic.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So I think it's probably one of the greatest finds in comic book history. But we'll say that. So let's do this. Let's do the old intro. And FYI, I talked to the lawyer about it, Z, and he was thoroughly impressed. So,
Oh, nice work.
I mean, pretty impressive. Okay. I think we're going to go here. Not in any particular order. I think it's just easy. I kind of put this on the report for news. Scarlet One sets GI Joe sales record with over 80,000 orders. Best-selling GI Joe comic in 2 decades.
Really?
Kelly Thompson, Captain Marvel, Deadpool stuff. So,
Somebody's playing political commercials.
God damn it, Carter.
I thought I was. Oh, you know.
Come on, man.
But actually, because I clicked on to the I clicked on the app because I wanted to thumbs up the video, and the ad played.
Oh.
And I thought I had it on mute, but
it's okay. I do that.
I had my screen off.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not the biggest GI Joe fan. Yeah, yada yada yada. But
I assume there's some covers that are of interest.
Yeah. Kelly Thompson, I guess, has been knocking it out of the park lately. I don't know. Chris, you got anything on that? You read a lot of Kelly Thompson's? I don't know.
It's been a long time since I've read any Kelly Thompson personally.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Yeah. So just things to see. I mean, obviously GI Joe moved around, so I mean, hopefully, maybe it might be a little bump over there. We'll see. Just you posted this. Frank Miller, American Genius, documents a unique journey of Frank Miller, obviously. So
yeah, it just seemed like completely out of left field of there being a documentary about Frank Miller. Yeah, I mean, and like some of these interviews are going back to like Sin City. I hadn't had a chance to watch it yet, but it's like some of these are Sin City interviews of like the cast and crew. I mean, Daredevil. It's like anything that he was around for or had to do with. It was like people just gassing him up. Mm-hmm. And I was like, boy, they probably had to go back pretty far to get people to have those type of opinions because, you know, current Frank Miller definitely not in, you know, held in the most high regards by people as of late. So I just found it was interesting that it was like, it just seemed out of left field there to be like a documentary about Frank Miller like right now.
Hey, you gotta handle it for a second. Let me add a room back upstairs. Oh, I need the news for me. Sorry.
I'll take the news. That's fine. Yeah, I mean, this feels like it would have been better 20 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, honestly,
he hasn't had any heat in a while, and just reports of bad covers.
No kidding.
Poor art.
Everybody's shaking, rolling that dice. Come on with those Essential covers. They're like, oh, come on, Campbell. Come on, Campbell.
I saw a few of those on the sales today. So they got a showrunner for the Green Lantern show from Ozark. It's interesting. I mean, at least he's experienced. Should be a good base. And you know, I am excited to see this program actually get off the ground for like, you know, the 17th time it feels like. Yeah. And they've been talking about this since 2015-ish, 16, 17, sometime.
15-ish.
Long time. Yeah, a long time.
I mean, yeah, Lindelof knows his stuff. He's got more hits in his career than misses, let's put it that way. everything from, I mean, he was associated with Lost, The Leftovers, that Watchmen series that came out.
Oh yeah, which was good.
Yeah, I mean,
For what it was.
Even some of the stuff that I'd say was a little on the weaker side, like Prometheus or World War Z, still, generally speaking, like
they weren't terrible movies.
Yeah, like he is, he's solid. Like, I mean, because it's, yeah, I think that it's in good hands at this point, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, it's got a good start.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Skeletor, Sacha Baron Cohen. This one threw me a little loop. This came out right after our last show. I saw it, I think, that same night. I guess he can do weird, man.
Skeletor?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Yeah, right? You're processing that too.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Let's run it back for a second. Let's hop back to the Lindelof mention, because I just found something that I didn't even realize.
Go ahead.
Yeah, he wrote Ultimate Wolverine versus Hulk.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Like, yeah, I didn't realize he had any comic book credits to his career. I mean, I just never really paid much attention, but yeah, I mean, Ultimate Wolverine versus Hulk. He was a writer on one of the books in Volume 2 of Legend of the Dark Knight back in 2012, and something called Time Warp.
All right, so he's got a little bit of comic. I assume he's got a little comic love in him. Yeah,
at the time that he was doing that Ultimate Hulk versus Wolverine, he was the main quote of an interview he did was, he said that Hulk 181 was one of his favorite issues of comics, and now he kind of gets to write the ultimate version of that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess he has bona fides when it comes to comics.
It's in, at least in the hands of somebody who isn't unfamiliar with the world and the source material. So,
all right,
I respect it.
All right, we're gonna take hot take 2. Anybody have any thoughts on this?
I mean, go ahead. Sorry.
Actually, I wanted to talk about Scarlet, because there was one pre-order cover that was really banging, and I can't remember what it was.
All right. Well, we will track that down. I can't do 3 months, man. I didn't dual screen it today.
I'm gonna look it up myself.
Yeah, I'm searching for it also.
Either way, Sacha Baron Cohen is a strange casting, but he does some unique performances. So I guess depending on what kind of version of Skeletor is going through, it could be interesting.
I mean, with the exception of like the more modern stuff, like, I mean, when was Skeletor ever really like taken seriously per se?
No, not super well. I mean, he's generally a bit of a tragic villain, comedic thing. So I could see that being interesting. Again, depends on where they take that show.
Yeah, and I mean, he's been vaguely serious and stuff before.
He's had some roles.
Yeah, I mean, Sweeney Todd, the Trial of the Chicago 7. So, I mean, he got nominated for all the awards for his portrayal of Abby Hoffman in the Trial of the Chicago 7, including an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actor. So, I think we have a tendency of defaulting to like the Borat stuff and stuff in that space, the Dictator and Bruno. But I mean, the guy, I mean, hell, Borat was nominated for like an Academy Award for Best Adapted Screenplay. So, I mean, yeah, the guy is like a jokey type of actor, and that's where he came up into space. But I don't know. I think if he's truly like leaning into a character portrayal, I think he could probably do anything. I mean, so many people got their start in comedy that were able to pivot into something more than that. I mean, I can think of like at least 5 Academy Award winners off the top of my head who got their break into the acting, into Hollywood as like comedic actors. All the likes of Tom Cruise and, or sorry, like Tom Cruise, Tom Hanks, like we're doing more comedic roles and then pivoted into being a serious actor. So
Yeah. All right. I see the image. I don't have the dual monitor to pull it up, man.
Okay, no problem.
I wasn't
I noticed there's a ton of covers for this.
I'm sure there it is. I mean, Image loves to do covers. The one you kicked was Bird City had a set,
Yeah.
and I assume you were talking about the Virgin one.
More the gosh, what was that? Who did that one? Oh, the Yoon cover.
Mm-hmm. So, audience can use their imagination for now, unless Dino gets back. So,
Right.
I think he's chasing a child that's not wanting to go to bed tonight.
I will say I'm surprised that Scarlet is the highest selling of the
new ones
of the G.I. Joe stuff. I mean, I would have expected once people coming out of San Diego last year, I would have figured the anticipation would have been around Duke or something, or even Cobra Commander or something like that. I just didn't realize Scarlet had that type of following.
Well, it could also just be the cover options are more lending to a crowd.
Yeah, true.
Another showrunner for the Vision series based Paul sent this one in, the guy that did Picard, which I don't know. I didn't get past season 1 of Picard, so I'm not qualified to say too much on him.
I was not a Picard fan, and not that there was anything wrong with it. I just personally, I did not want to pay for the service to get it, and I was so far removed from the Next Generation that I was just like, I'm good.
Yeah, I watched a bit. It was fine, but I don't know if that has anything to do with him or not. But at least he's got some sci-fi in him.
Yeah, and I mean, as far as like a show, I mean, I don't know, like the showrunner thing is always weird now because of the new rules. Because does that technically constitute head writer? Because it used to be head writer, or have they separated those two into two unique responsibilities? Is there a showrunner and then there is a head writer? Because typically with live action stuff, you can have both scenarios.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it works and what truly is that guy doing versus the writer guy, and where does it break and who has all the control. X-Men gets a screenwriter too.
Yep. And so this individual, like, I love how they call out, like, or at least the first thing I saw was that they're like, oh, the writer for Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And I was just like, all right, so what else has he done? I started looking back. I was just like, I mean, Assassin's Creed, which again, that may not have necessarily been like that bad of a script starting out. It just might have been the studio's intervention ruining that one. But I mean, I'm not seeing a whole lot. I mean,
nothing really screaming at you.
Not really. I mean, the 2015 Macbeth movie with Fassbender, I don't remember if I like that or not. I think I remember seeing it. Assassin's Creed, The Little Drummer Girl is a British espionage. Okay, didn't watch that. And there's an upcoming Hamlet thing that he's pinning also with Riz Ahmed.
Feels like a big project for a guy with one real kind of like known item.
I mean, again, though, but maybe he produced something, or maybe he's done something that really, Fahey and crew are just like, I like where your head's at. Or maybe, again, he came in there with an original pitch. Who knows? Because, again, we don't have the context of him having this super long career. I mean, he has an Emmy to his credit, but yeah, I mean, he could be somebody who's just a relatively unknown but had an amazing pitch. I mean, we kind of had these same ideas about what's the name of them being the TV guys, the Whatchamacallit brothers, before they came in and knocked the doors off of things with Winter Soldier and stuff like that. Like they were the TV guys, and we were
That's
like
true.
comedic TV at that. They'd never done action before, and we're like, are they really the right people to helm this? And so I won't count anybody out, but I can definitely say that initial glances at the resume,
Is lean.
don't necessarily instill confidence, but I've got to believe at this point, like they're like we have
They're
so
not.
much.
They're not fucking this up.
They've got too much goodwill at this point. They've earned too much goodwill with 97 that they're like, okay, man, like everybody's excited about this. We'll see where how
They're
we
writing
feel.
off Deadpool now.
Yeah, we'll see how people feel after Deadpool. Later, at the end of July. I just think they're like, we can't not stick this landing. We just dug ourselves out of a hell deep hole at this point.
Yeah.
Hey, you were talking about the Russos, and
Yes.
the thing about that, because I'm thinking, you go from a show like Community to doing like the biggest movies of all time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like how do you go from a small show like that to doing something so massive? Like, what do you? I mean, what are they pitching, or are they getting tapped for it? What's going on?
I mean, I think in those scenarios, it is. I mean, because again, looking at the Russos, like it went legitimately. From a film perspective, Welcome to Collinwood in 02,
Right?
You, Me, and Dupree in 06, crashing in 07 to fucking Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Like, with the very next team being A Merry Freaking Christmas. Like, yeah, I mean, it's really one of those situations where you're like, based off of their film background and looking at what they had done from a TV up until that point, again, Community and a bunch of other stuff that nobody really watched or had a pilot. Yeah, I mean, their resume reads very similar to Homeboys, where it's like, this is your person. Like, I mean, but again, they maybe came in there and just had an amazing pitch for, a story that, nobody could deny at that point. But yeah, I mean, You, Me, and Dupree wasn't even like, good. Let's be real about it. Like that was not a good movie. I mean, that was. So yeah, I mean, their movie credits were very weak at best.
All right.
So yeah,
we'll see, right?
Yeah, we'll see. I will be there for it, but and again, maybe they just came in there. Maybe that person's a diehard X-Men fan and just had this amazing idea and pitch for what it should be, and yeah, we'll go from there. But never, yeah. So far,
Yeah.
Hey, Assassin's Creed was a banger. I'm joking.
Yeah, that's what we talked about.
That was a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
And a big one too. I mean, like
They spent a buttload on this.
Yeah, I mean Michael Fassbender. Like, I mean,
Jeremy Irons was even in it.
Bro,
Yeah.
I do not remember this movie like at all.
I mean, I was so excited about this. I mean, look at the cast. I mean, the cast is decently stacked. I mean, Brandon Gleeson, Michael Kenneth Williams.
Did it do well?
No,
No.
not at all.
I don't know.
Okay.
Flopped so hard.
I didn't know the.
I'm really surprised I don't remember this being a movie. Wow.
I guess we got to do that now. Okay. Interesting.
It didn't do well.
Yeah, it did do
Okay.
terribly.
I'm not sure I watched it.
I got about halfway through it now. She's like, this is so terrible.
I mean, 36 on a Metascore is fucking brutal. I mean, even on Metascore, 5.6.
Yikes.
Yeah.
I mean, my big issue is they spent way too much time outside of the historical world. And as somebody who played that first game, you
I did too.
only come back to the present or the future every once in a blue moon
Yeah.
to drive the plot along, but you spend most of your time in the past. And they did the reverse in the movie, spent way too much time in the present and not enough time in the past. So
Yeah. All right. We got Street Fighter movie promo.
yeah, so it was at one of the big expo or conventions, they showed it the title treatment, which is very much so in the vein of the games and the Street Fighter comics of the Uden days. So
That's the next one I did. I did this one.
Yeah. So this was the treatment that was up from Legendary. I don't know. I'm excited. I mean, so a little inside baseball with myself. I am a diehard Street Fighter fan. Like, I have been playing, with the exception of the absolute first Street Fighter, which was an arcade-only release and predates me. I have played every single Street Fighter up to this date, every single crossover that Street Fighter has done. I've had every single one of the anniversary editions where I'm truly just buying the same game over again, but with slightly better graphics and maybe an extra Capcom game slid in there just for good measure. But yeah, I mean, I'm a faithful Street Fighter fan, and it would just be nice to have a decent movie. Because, I mean, the anime that they've done around Street Fighter, some of the cartoon series they've done have been really well done. And it's like, just do that. Like, or just take the story arc from the game and just do that. And they always, with the first Street Fighter movie, because they felt that they couldn't market the actual main focus of the game, which was Ryu. So they had to pivot and turn Jean-Claude Van Damme into an American member of the United Nations. So that was a problem. And I mean, and still, I appreciated that for what it was. Being a kid in the 90s, just happy to have, a movie like that being made. And then fast forward to The Legend of Chun-Li.
They had the late, great Raul.
Who took it super seriously. His portrayal in that movie of M. Bison, that movie did not deserve. Like that man was putting out Oscar caliber performance, melodrama in a movie that did not deserve him. And let's be real about it. That should not have been the last movie on that man's
I mean, he did it for his kids. I mean, that's why he acted his shit out of it for his kids.
Yeah, his kids were big fans, and he did it for his kids, even though he was on his deathbed, at the time.
That was Ming Na too, right?
Yeah, that was one of her first. That was one of her first American roles. I think that was right after Joy Luck Club.
I mean, she's got some longevity.
She's been around for a minute. I mean, there's a handful of Asian actresses who have been in it as long as she has, and
she's can't question her pop culture relevance at that point of everything she's been in too.
Yeah, no, I mean she is gorgeous, an amazing actress. She's 60 years old and still looks like she just walked off of the set of Joy Luck Club. Yeah. So so Joy Luck Club was her first introduction to one of her earliest acting gigs, because she did 3 movies in 93, and then Street Fighter was the very next year as Chun-Li.
Yeah. That's all we got for the old news segment.
All right, I'll try and I got some interesting stuff in the market report. I found some wild random stuff that I don't always see. So, we'll start with the basic one.
Yeah.
This continues to drop a bit. I mean, it is got a little higher shipping, but definitely under $300 from when it was selling for. I mean, I think it touched over 1,000 on the newsstand side for sure, and the regular was getting real damn close. So definitely down. Honestly, this is where it was selling pre-hype, I think,
Mm-hmm.
Let's have this for our friends at Blizzard. Keeps seeming to sell this book. I don't know where he keeps finding them. They're all low grade, but this book is unusually tough, and he has sold, I think every time I posted it, he has sold it. I don't know where he keeps getting them, but it is a first issue of the Captain Marvel Adventures. Tough book. 5K. So there we go on that one. This is one I didn't even know existed. Carpe Noctem 1. First Johnny the Homicidal Maniac.
And it's our boy Furbird with the sale. Nice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, look at who it was. I've never heard of this book. I mean, I always knew about the 1,000 printings of Johnny the Homicidal Maniac, but I didn't know this was the first appearance.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
1,000 times.
I could have swore that Johnny the Homicidal Maniac was the was the first appearance of that character. At least
So did
that's-
I until I was like the label says it, so I don't know.
Here, let me see. I got a copy of Johnny the Homicide Mania here. First comic book. Okay, so maybe that's not considered to be a
The
comic.
magazine, it looks like.
Yes, because this says first comic book appearance of Johnny, first appearance of Squeak. So, yeah.
Add that to your list, Carter.
Right
Learn
on.
something new every day.
I wouldn't even know where to. Okay, I actually do know where to look for something like this. Like, I still stumble into these random like magazine, comic book, a little bit of everything spots, and this is the shit that's in the magazine box that nobody ever looks in.
Yeah.
But like the Fangorias that nobody cares about, like issue 2 to like 3,000.
Well, yeah, like those boxes always have like, what is it, that first appearance, Epic,
Yeah.
yeah, Epic illustrators are
Dark
always in those
Star
damn
Stars.
boxes. Yeah, first, so like 1 and 3 are always in those boxes. You always get a random either, like it's never Turtles 1 or 2. It's always like 3. And it's always in that box for a reasonable price, but everybody skips over 3 because nobody cares. Like you always find stuff like that in those magazine boxes because like nobody ever flips through them.
No,
Like-
no. There's some other stuff you'll find, but yeah, it's interesting. Another first appearance that this apparently first Dave Stevens art. This guy did a write up on it. Seems like he's a longtime collector.
Uh-oh.
That's where I bought that Doctor Doom postage thing from Marvel Museum. They're legit guys. They ship
Yeah,
them
so
too.
this guy was saying that this is the first appearance, earliest published, which was May of '71. Then there's the actually the second appearance or second art is in here too, which is the I can't read it; it's too small. And then there was
Panorama
another
1. Yeah.
Panorama 1, and then Collector 24. It appears, at best I can see, he doesn't do a good job describing the art, but I think it's just a Ryan sketch. So, I mean, $2,000 is nothing to friggin' sneeze at. So,
No.
you guys and your Dave Stevens are getting out of control.
Yep.
And then here's the second published art. And this one was a few months later in summer of '71, and that went for just shy of $1,000. So,
Ooh.
yeah.
This account,
Crazy.
if you're not following this account, they put up some good stuff. Some stuff's a little high price, but when they do auctions, you can catch some people sleeping.
Good to know.
So,
Now everybody's going to follow.
that's fine. Hey, I got my thing I needed, so I don't care about it.
Yeah.
Sure. This one, man, this still feels like an interesting play to show up. But I guess if it's not hitting money yet, then probably it isn't, because it always leaks. Everything always leaks. Somebody finds out. But still a cool first cover, first appearance. This one I grabbed. I mean, it's a pretty famous cover, but I also like it because it kind of is referenced in Horrific 2, has kind of an homage to it. So
I wonder what the restored part of it is. I wonder if it's color touch or.
I didn't get into the weeds on that one. It wasn't, it's just $200, but I do like the cover. I always like the green covers. All the weird number ones I've seen, I don't know if I've seen a 9.8 of this one in a while or at all, honestly. So $300 for a newsstand of Family Guy. Would that have been the first run of it or the second run in 2006?
Second.
Yes, second. Yeah.
That's when the show kind of relaunched.
Yep.
Yeah, because I was in
Imagine-
college. Yeah, so that would have been
Yeah,
his turn.
10.
Imagine if it would have had a book when the first one got canceled.
Yep.
It would have been way less popular. So, this is another one I had no idea about. I didn't even know the comic with Gen 13 bootleg. And then there's a Bruce Timm variant at issue 18. Racy Bruce Timm.
I've seen this artwork before. This artwork has definitely popped up elsewhere. I just didn't know it was ever actually used in a comic that released.
Probably because nobody knew this comic existed. I don't know. There have what's the numbers on this? There have only been 2 9.8 sales. They've both been this year. One was in January. It was $400, and the other one is this one. There's 6 9.8s 7 9.6s and 3 9.4s, 18 total graded. So I don't know where it came from. Why all of a sudden it's,
No, it's
Tim fans.
It's always been a consistent seller. It's like for the longest time, for years, this was like a $20 book. It was always missing from back issue bins.
I guess a $20 back issue to a $700 9.8 is an interesting jump.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I guess if you're the first couple to market, It also probably is not in loved bins with being Image Gen 13.
Yeah.
Let's see. This was just one I remember Devo talking about being a real tough book when Ghostbusters was picking back up. Not a super strong sale, but it is one of 1,000. It's from SDCC. So a tough book. So I don't know. He always says it was kind of a ghost. So
I actually love this cover. It'd be cool if you had a sketch of Slimer on it too.
Oh,
that would be cool.
It'd be sick. But this is me.
This is just one. I every once in a while, freaking IDW and their variants just hit something different, and I like this one. So there was a few last week that sold. This one sold again. I just dig the retro vibe of it. So it's also 1 of 50 for an IDW.
And I wonder how many people are actually buying Godzilla 70th anniversary 50. You know what I'm saying? I mean, maybe a lot of people are, but for this, maybe just for the cover alone. But
it's gonna be less than some of the other stuff out there.
I know the Art Adams. I'm a member of the Art Adams Facebook group, and this was definitely one that was very much so coveted by folks in that group. So
I'm sure it's been strong selling. The other market reports I didn't catch it, and then finally I'm like, dude, it keeps coming up. I gotta at least give it a shout out. Some more of the Popeye variants popped up. Mm-hmm. This is a 1 in 10, number 30. Not my favorite one, but strong sale at $400. Honestly, the one that had kind of started the craze is number 65, which only got $250. So I thought that was interesting. But maybe somebody just needed to complete the run. This is one. I don't even know how this book exists. I had heard about this the other day in the foreign comic group. This is the Spider-Man 1 UK Amiga Games insert. So this was actually folded in the box.
Wow.
So folded up in half in the box with the Amiga games. I have no idea how you get a 9.8 of it, or if this was one that wasn't folded and sold, or what happened to it. Not every version of the game had this insert, so if you look for it, it does note that there's a comic in the box. But there's a foreign guy who has the most inclusive Spider-Man 1 set to date, and this is what he says is one of the damn toughest, especially in high grade like this. So I probably was a very good price for somebody that's really hardcore collecting the Spider-Man books.
So that was a buy it now. So this seller, if he didn't have it at a buy it now, he could have either put it in an auction or just really set his price.
Well, he did an auction, but somebody bought it now. He shouldn't have done that, I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think this guy that I know is a seller, because he wouldn't. He was going to sell his undercopy, which was not a 9.8. So I don't know, unless I think his post was before this. So somebody must have got another one, or maybe, somebody found a couple file copies. I'm not sure. But yeah, if you're a Spider-Man 1 collector, this is about as rare a bird as you get.
Uh-oh.
I just like this one with the what's that shark? The sawfish. Yep. You don't see those often on the cover. I just had to show this one because they said Mullet Superman sketched by Dan Jurgens.
I love that.
Honestly, I mean, that's not much money for a 9.8 of this book, but man, that sketch really.
I mean, for $226, I'd buy it. Honestly,
I kind of wish I'd seen it. Truthfully, it is just It is just like 90s glorious, right?
If I put on a wall, I would put mullet Superman. I'm sure it would sell.
Yeah.
I mean, I often don't look for some of these type books, but man, sometimes you see it and you're like, that makes my heart happy. This one's for Paul. The Hammerhead Shark cover, number 30, the kind of unreleased issue that they did at Mirage and kind of slow rolled them on their site. I want to say there were roughly 1,000 copies. Does it say less? Does it say less? Maybe. I think it's 1,000 printed.
Yeah.
I know I had a 31 at some point, but not the 30. So, yeah, it's a rare bird. This one had the layered signature with a little sketch because he would sell that for a few bucks more. So, Transformers 80 newsstand. Seller says the first newsstand specifically listed for sale on GPA. Who knows with the stuff pre-newsstand noting, but
yeah,
probably a tough book. If you're a Transformers guy, that's probably one you want. Twin sales.
I was thinking if I was a Transformers guy, which I am, I'm like, let me just buy an actual sealed Transformers.
Yeah, truth. I don't disagree. The toys are fun. They're more interesting.
Exactly.
There are some guys with unlimited money and they just want it all. So this is one of those covers from the Charlton, a classic innuendo cover. And these two sold almost back to back. So it's not the most common book, and two sellers listed them back to back, and the second guy should have just fucking waited a week. That's all I can say.
I mean, for me, I see these on my comic shop a lot, but they're obviously in terrible condition. But you know,
I remember I had a 9.6 in my sights at Baltimore one year, but it was PGX, and I didn't trust it enough.
Oh dang!
But yeah, I don't know. I just was amused because they were literally in my filter, which was like $200 and over. 10 books apart or less. And I'm like, dude, you idiots. Warrior 1, first V for Vendetta, has the first Modern Miracle Man by Alan Moore. 900 $900. I kind of dug into some details here and wanted to see there's 198, 396s, 1194s, and 2492s. Now, the kicker is I don't think this book was really gradable until the new magazine cases hit because they were too tall. This and like Deadline 1 and a couple others, those damn UK magazines were too tall for the old slab. There was a handful that got slabbed initially, but I think they all realized it was too tight and they stopped doing it. So this was kind of a new wave of books. Just for reference, one of the 9.6s sold in March of 2022 for $8,500. So that's probably a first to market win. A 9.4 one only sale was $3,500 in November of 2023. This is the high sale on this one. I think there have been 3, maybe 4. It was $1,640. So this one's at $900. So I think it was the third highest sale. So first to market does win some points on something like this. Oh, did I not include it?
What? Sorry. Did I miss it?
It's probably me, not you.
Oh.
So I was looking at this book, and I had a sale for it. Also, a X Factor 6.
Okay.
Because the X Factor 6 was like close to $1,000, close to $600, and this is $250. And I'm like, everything's saying that this is going to be the first villain they launch. Why is it less than half of the other one? So I kind of dug in the weeds, and I'm like, there's 2,300 and change 9.8s of this. There's 1,300 and change of that. The 9.6s are almost even at 2,300 versus 2,100. Their publication dates less than a year apart. I know the main title is probably more popular, so there's more of them out there. But man, does it really make sense that this one's so cheap versus that one?
I honestly think so. There was something I was recently listening to. It was a podcast that was discussing or doing a breakdown of the Mutant Massacre. So Mutant Massacre was the first For anybody who cares or doesn't, Mutant Massacre was the first like X-Men crossover ever, like first summer crossover event involving the X-Men, and it involved the X-Men, X-Factor, strangely the fucking Power Pack, and like some other random shit that like Daredevil ends up in that like story arc, and so does who else? Thor even. But so the point of that being is that at the time, the original X-Men team had moved over to being X-Factor. X-Men was continuing on with pretty much everybody who has shown up from Giant Size and a couple other characters who have been introduced since then. X-Factor wasn't doing well. And so that was the whole reason behind them doing the summer crossover event. And this would have been like legitimately an issue or two. Actually, this would have been about 7 issues behind the events of the Mutant Massacre event with the Marauders. And so if the total number of books being put out of X Factor would have been at its highest around the time of that, it has probably slopped off considerably when there wasn't an event, and it was basically, trailing at that point. Like they kept trying to do stuff because that was the book in which, what's name loses his wings.
Archangel.
So Archangel loses his wings during like towards the tail end of the Mutant Massacre. Apocalypse gets introduced, and then he comes back as the Archangel.
Correct.
And those books weren't selling super well because nobody cared about X Factor. Everybody was reading X-Men. So it's probably the reason that there's just less of them out there. And Apocalypse, honestly, still to this day just carries more weight than Sinister does.
Yeah. I guess in my head, Sinister's just a different. He's where things are going.
True.
Because it would be silly for them to do Apocalypse again after that fiasco.
Yeah. But I think, honestly, this is a scenario of you can always find these. Like, I've never not gone into an LCS and seen a copy of this on the wall.
Yeah.
Like, I've got 2, one in 9.6, I think one in 9.8 sitting in a box beside me right now. Like, they're just. And I every time I go to send a submission off to CGC, I find at least one of these out there in the wild somewhere. It's just a super common book. I don't come across, first appearance of Apocalypse that often. Like I've had maybe 5 of those, 6 of those in my collecting career.
So you're at opposite now, because I went with Carter when we picked 2 or 3 out of that Cleveland shot. I think I just grabbed them because they were in that top box. I was like, I'll just.
Yeah. That's right. First Apocalypse. Yep.
So you're suggesting that because of the movies, that Apocalypse is graded a lot of what's going to come out easily, and that this, while it's been popular, hasn't been popular enough dollar-wise to make people submit them all?
Yeah, I think only because of the fact that, like, again, because of the rumors around X-Men, like around the movies and him playing a part in X-Men 97 has caused this book to increase to even, because we can look, and there's probably been a little bit of an increase. Like if you look truly, like zoom in on the last year's worth of sales, I don't think, okay, so Sinister.
It had its high way back in the high hog days of 22-ish, 21.
Well, you also know because that was also connected to the fact that what was it? Both Logan and New Mutants were supposed to tie to Sinister as well.
Yeah.
Like straight up, like the organization that has them in New Mutants is the Essex Foundation.
Yeah.
It also gets called out again in Deadpool
of Future Past?
No, Deadpool 2. So those kids are at an Essex organization. Like all those 3 were supposed to, before the whole, like they were trying to tie in before, ultimately the collapse of Fox and the selling.
Wasn't there a teaser of Essex and a briefcase?
Yeah, that was New Mutants.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yep. So that was New Mutants, and then there was reference to it in Deadpool 2, and then also like the ones who were modifying the kids and cloning the powers of the X-Men was also the Essex org in an Essex organization related group in Logan. So like there was a plan during the final days of Fox that if all that shit hadn't collapsed, that was supposed to be where they were heading next was a Mr. Sinister related tie-in of some sort. It just fell apart.
And I think the other thing that the other problem is that for what it is that X Factor 6 has Apocalypse on it and 221 doesn't have Sinister on it. Not saying that's a big thing, but it's like Hawkman, Zatanna, right?
Yeah,
like,
sure. You don't get a cover appearance out of Sinister until Inferno, that Inferno story arc.
Yeah. So
I'm partial to the so much fun print.
Yeah, that second print is rough. There's only most of the high grades are single digit or very, very low double digit. So
yeah,
cool. I feel like I missed half the show, but it's fine. Did you talk about this too? Did you talk about the He-Man thing? I messed up.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
good stuff. I saw it was like trapped up on top somehow. Okay. Does anybody have pickups before I go? Because my pickups are going to be fucking. Okay.
This is all you.
Oh boy. Okay. So in this little box here, so I'll start this. So I bought this cover way back in 2020, we'll call it, or something of that nature. Just front and back cover, right? Nothing crazy. I bought it off a guy who sold his whole wall, and I'm like, hey, and I've known him pretty well. And he goes, hey man, hey Dino, like if you want something off the booth, like before I give it to this guy, just let me know, and he doesn't care. I'm like, cool. So I bought this, and I'm like, dude, what am I gonna do with the front and the back? And me and Z talked about it. He's like, well, we could always just grade the cover and just throw it in a slab and it'll protect it. So I'm like, because I'm like, when in the world am I gonna find a full version of it, right? So in this little box here, I can get it all open here. Bear with me for a minute. Oh, at least a double box. I'll definitely take that.
I love that they double box this.
Oh, I don't know why, but
it's gonna get more damaged.
No, I know, right? So in this little box of mine, so this is it's like okay. They probably double box it because he sells a lot, so I'm not gonna. And me and Carter talk about it on our podcast too. He's a really renowned seller. So not Blizzard. So I have found a coverless copy of Mr. Mystery 13 somehow. With the staples? Staples are in there. Yeah, I don't know how I did it. I got it for a steel Xenos. Yeah. So now I can combine it like the Mega Powers and have a legit copy somehow.
Yeah, you send that to grade and get it noted and move on.
So do I staple it back together, or do I just send it in like it is?
I don't think you want to staple it. I don't know.
I can conserve it. Staple replacements, conservation, I guess.
I don't know. They've changed it. Then you just have added something to it versus
just leave it alone. Just back covered attached.
I don't know. So, there's some of the guys in the chat may have opinions. I don't know.
Yeah. If you guys
have never dabbled in this, so
I have never either.
Provide advice.
I reached out to the lovely, great Anna Love.
Yeah,
she's probably the best at this type.
Yeah,
of stuff.
I just don't know pros versus cons. I would hate to put more into it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just don't know. I've never done this before, so I don't know either. So
I think if you send it, it'll be detached and married, but I don't know. Maybe they won't consider it if it's. I don't know.
I should really reach out to Matt Nelson and talk. Just
either way, we were looking at the numbers, and you're gonna bare minimum triple your number. On it investment.
Yeah. So
and potentially more.
What a great win for me. So
yeah.
Okay. So behind me, and it's 4 piles. I went to a steak sale. He goes, hey man, just walked up in my neighborhood. It's a golf cart down with the wife and the kid, and they're walking around like, hey man, you got any comics? Oh man, somebody there you go. I'll hit that dude up. Perfect. Just hit me up on Instagram or whatever, and just if he has an Instagram or let me know. So I go, hey man, you got comics? He's like, no, I think somebody sold them, but they were crap. He goes, 6 months ago, 6 months ago, I had like 6 short boxes of just beat condition stuff, but I sold it to my friend. I'm like, God dang it. But he's like, hey, come to my garage. I got I got some in there. I'm like, and I lifted up the garage. I was thinking like, is it gonna be like 40 short, or something crazy? It was just like 2 milk crates. So, I found some winners. I kind of set them to the side.
What'd you pay?
$20. I didn't even look through them, dude. I was like, $20. He goes,
$20 you can gamble. That's like a lotto ticket.
Yeah, he goes, give me a price where you think, and I did the Dino thing. Give me a price where you think it's too good to let go. I pulled out $35. He $35 sold. I'm like, what about 20? He goes, $20 sold.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
How do you lower the price after the?
Well, he saw my $35. I'm like, I don't want to give you 35 for this. I mean, if it's complete shit, I mean,
okay.
But I said $20. He's like, I want them gone. And he had a bunch of baseball cards too. But the wife was with me, and we go with baseball cards. So
yeah, no baseball cards.
Yeah, I was like, no. So I'll just give a smattering of stuff. Again, I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of most of this stuff. So a lot of Tomb Raider 2s for some reason.
Oh,
I don't know. He has a shit ton of these Tomb Raider 2s.
Huh. Are they gold? Are they gold foil?
Negative, but the Dynamic Forces. Oh, they're signed, isn't it? Right?
Oh, those are interesting.
Exclusive foil alternate covers.
Who's signed?
Or maybe it's not. It's 5,000 copies, I guess.
Well,
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know anything special about it, but okay.
Yeah, I don't know. So just
They
people in the
sometimes
chat
sell.
can help me out. So Batman, right?
Okay.
But I'll leave a preview of the first one. So I found this in a box.
Ooh,
Nice.
Or in a
Okay.
crate.
You
So-
paid yourself off right there.
Yeah, that works. So take care of that. At least that's a big boy book. This isn't that big of a boy book, but Tomb Raider, just Michael Turner variant style, right?
Okay.
I mean, he did the cover, so I mean, not dynamic forces, but I mean, whatever. I've never seen this book. I don't know, Lady Death 5. He had a lot of Lady Death stuff. I don't know.
Definitely, we know why he wanted it gone now.
Yeah,
We
right.
got kids.
Bone 38, which is no big deal. I just a little smithering of Tomb Raider stuff.
It's got the used stuff in it.
I'm looking. I didn't really look at these before I got on. I thought we were gonna have more. Here's another Dynamic Forces Tomb Raider one.
He sure liked the dynamic forces.
Yeah, which is, I mean, sometimes you'll make it out. I don't think I had a lot of huge stuff in here.
Yeah.
A
A lot of Tomb Raider. That
lot of
Tomb Raider
Tomb
will
Raider.
sell though. That one
Yeah.
looks like a foil.
Yeah, this is like a, I don't know, some kind of foil.
Tomb Raider 1 foil.
Yeah. I don't know. Andy Park and JD Smith and somebody else I can't read. Tower Records edition. Well, Tower.
I would look at
Originals.
that just because I don't know. That's
Um,
an oddball.
more Turner variants from that run. That's not worth that much. I don't even know this one. Witchblade Tomb Raider.
I had a lot of those crossovers in a set.
Yeah. Yeah. Witchblade Tomb Raider. Witchblade Tomb Raider. Witchblade Tomb Raider.
Sometimes you can sell those sets for a decent chunk
Okay.
together, like useless as a set.
Okay, so that's the first file. Wait, this doesn't fall down. Which, I mean, wouldn't hurt me. Okay. A lot of
Oh,
stuff.
that's tough. There's nothing rare.
Witchblade Electra, which I don't know.
Be tough. That's what you're dealing with.
Star Trek, just I don't even know what half this shit is. So yeah, it's going great so far. A lot of more Tomb Raider stuff.
A lot of Tomb Raider.
Here's a
We got some
Fathom.
Buffy. Oh yeah.
It's a Fathom. Yes, I do have. I don't know what the fuck this is. Blood Legacy. I don't know. Buffy.
I gotta love some Sarah Michelle.
Yeah, Buffy. He has a lot of Buffy in here. I thought you would appreciate
There's
this.
a couple Campbell variants in Buffy, so watch for those.
Okay. Fallen Angel, Lady Death, some more Witchblade stuff. Witchblade. I mean, Turner covers. I mean, obviously he was a big fan of Turner, which I mean kind of helped me in the long run.
Watch out for Witchblade 10.
Okay.
Is that the one?
1894.
Is that the?
First Darkness.
Yeah,
Okay.
and there's a Turner variant of that. So
Okay.
the odds
You
are
might have
that's
it.
in there.
He might have it in here. We're at 27, 28.
Yeah.
Witchcraft, something or another. I don't even know. So it's I kind of looked through like one of the packages. It was like this. I'm like, dude, I ain't gonna take a major loss on this thing.
You already got the Batman. You're good. Everything else is gravy. You could throw it in the trash.
A lot of X-Files.
Yeah.
Which, some Catwoman stuff, X-Files.
I don't think any of the X-Files goes, as far as I know. Other than the one weird variant.
Catwoman stuff that nobody cares about. A lot of Buffy, obviously.
Yeah.
Yep. So, Witchblade, Lady Death, more Buffy stuff. If I had a Sarah Michelle Gellar signing, I'd be in the money. Tomb Raider half again.
So are we noticing a pattern?
No, I'm noticing
with
the
these
pattern.
books. With these books.
Yeah, this is the Carter special.
So did you get any wins besides the Batman?
I think that was it pretty much. Batman stuff.
Hey, you paid $20
stuff.
for Batman. There might be some other shit in there, but
Soulmaker, Arius, the Soulmaker. I didn't know.
That doesn't look good.
I have no idea. Witchblade, more Tomb Raider, Arius stuff. I don't even know. Green Arrow. Oh, look at this. Trouble?
Actually,
That's
Trouble.
Actually,
yeah.
Is there another one?
No,
that's a variant of that.
No, that's the one, and I think that's actually decent money for that one. And also that Green Arrow is Quiver. That's the Kevin Smith on Green Arrow book that everybody like raves over.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, Quiver. Yep. So that's Kevin Smith when he did Green Arrow.
Okay. And then this, I thought like, what the fuck is this? So okay, I'll keep that in the pile. Put that in the pile over there. Of maybe something. And a lot of Lady Death. I'm not the biggest Lady Death fan, so I don't know. Lady Death. A lot of chaos Lady Death stuff. So.
I don't know much of that that's worth anything.
Okay. I mean, cool covers, but I mean, quickly go.
What was that Trouble book?
Trouble
from Millar. Yeah. Mark Millar. Let me go back. Let's take this. From Epic. Marvel Epic. Part 1. Terry Dodson, Millar, Rachel Dodson.
It slid off. It used to be worth a little bit of money now.
No, yeah, it was hot for a minute, but now it's not.
A little vampy crossover with a little
Lady
mini.
Death.
Yeah, a little ash cam, I guess. I don't know. I won't bore you with all this stuff. Lady Death. Crossovers, Tomb Raider, Witchcraft, more Buffy for you. Catwoman stuff.
I will say, if you want to grind it out and you've got some of those like crossover series of 1 to 3, 1 to 4s,
yeah,
people will buy them at 10, sometimes $20 a pop. So
she stuff.
She's. I don't know, man. I don't think there's any she.
Yeah. House of Secrets from Vertigo back in the day. More Buffy stuff.
Is there a House of Secrets with something in it?
You're talking to the wrong guy. I don't even know.
That series, or am I making it up?
I only have a couple, so.
No, not those then. There was something in the late ones, I thought.
Gen 13 action, so 22, 23.
Look for rebooted.
I know, right? I was hoping it was in there. It would be my lucky to actually have that. Lady Death. I'm not gonna bore you with that. More Lady Death, some more Gen 13 stuff. But no big deal. So let's kind of rip through that.
So you guys remember why Trouble was such a big deal at one point, right?
It was. What was it?
So the whole story thing, and it was thought that they were maybe going to use this in live action at one point, is the fact that it's a romance kind of retelling of really Spider-Man's like origins, where May gets pregnant at 17 by Ben Parker,
yes,
and gives the child away to Mary and Richie Parker. and that she names the child Peter, and that they raised, they basically pretended like Peter was their child. They die, and then ultimately the child ends back up in with May and Ben.
Oh,
But yeah, that was the whole thing about it. And
it's
there was possibility they were going to use that.
A little Paluto chassis sketchbook
hmm.
from Paluto from way back in the day.
You might look that shit up. That's one of those
Dynamic
weird
forces
items.
stuff.
People love
more
fucking Pluto.
She stuff, more crossover Witchblade, some uncanny X-Men,
Yeah.
54, Lady Death stuff again. Lady Death stuff. Star Wars Phantom Menace 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, dude, you're good then. That photo variant of that one is first Mace Windu, I want to say. No, the Darth Maul photo variant.
Oh, this one
is.
Yeah, I was gonna say something's in there.
Yeah, I want to say that's first Mace Windu, I believe.
Okay,
so there might be a few bucks there.
Okay,
and the photo variant is definitely the more rare of them. Is it a newsstand or no?
Direct.
Still decent money in that guy.
X-Files from Topps back in the day.
Nope.
A shit ton of them. So he's obviously an X-Files fan. Ground Zero, like miniseries stuff. Okay. Here. This whole section here. He was a very independent guy. So obviously, Fallen Angels from DC. Anybody remember that?
Nope.
If you had said Fallen Angels like Marvel, I would have been like, oh yeah, but Fallen Angels DC, Jesus.
Tomb Raider. Here's a right.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
Hughes. Obviously, we know that one.
Yeah.
So
you just have to look at those Tomb Raiders individual. Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Oh yeah, you're good money, man.
Yep. Here's another one.
Yeah, you make money on just a couple of these Tomb Raiders. Shit.
Yeah, there's another one. So that's all good money right there. Obviously, I haven't even looked at these, so I don't even know. Witchcraft.
Some
kind of bullshit comic. I don't know. Emma Frost for you, Carter.
That run, if you got a full, two of them.
This dude was collecting at a very specific time. Like this was definitely like me. Like this.
If you put together a run of that Emma Frost, it'll sell.
Dawn actually. I remember all this stuff like was on the shelf like when I was like in high school. Every bit of this was on the shelf when I was in high school.
I got really excited because he was collecting Why the Last Man stuff.
No ones.
I did not have no ones. And then we all remember Fables. Remember?
Yeah.
Yep.
Fables. And then this last little bit here. Let's see what we got. So yeah, like you said, I made money on it. I told him that I didn't think it was worth anything because I took that like Shein stuff. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna take a loss on this. Fables, more Fables stuff. Top Cow, Magdalena, I guess.
Yeah.
Anybody Purgatory stuff?
Nope.
It's got its fans, but yeah.
Okay, I don't know. Like Purgatory, just got covers, a lot of Purgatory in here.
I mean, I think you're gonna have to bundle these up if you try and sell them.
I'll just take into account and offload them to somebody. And then the rest of it is just she stuff. She stuff. She stuff.
You definitely got more $20 in there, so you're
I'm not really Witchblade, Tales of Witchblade, Why Last Man stuff. Which they're still cool covers. I mean,
you did okay.
Yeah. I wonder what was in the other 6 boxes that he sold to his friend. Fables and Why Last Man.
Probably anything that wasn't this shit.
Yeah, right. So no, for $20, that's my state sale pickup of. And I got there Saturday afternoon or something, like really late too. So I'm glad he even had it. He goes, "You want comics? I'm your man." So
you said you pulled up on the second day.
No, the third day. I think it went Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But I don't think nobody really asks about things. They just walk around like, "Oh, there's no shit here." I just always ask, "Hey, you got comics?"
Ah, nice. Okay.
I don't care about anything else. I mean, they had a big jukebox downstairs that probably weighed 500 pounds. I'm not gonna lug it up the fucking basement. So.
Yeah,
but that's what we got. So
nice.
So obviously, the Mr. Mystery 13's the winner. Obviously, this is just fodder for shit. I do have to skip your books, Chris. I got to do that eventually too.
It's fun to gamble for $20 though.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, did a little. Yeah, I mean, I did better than $20, but I just thought, $20. It was literally 2 milk bins, the milk crates, and they were all bagged and boarded. So I was like, that's kind of a win in itself. So
yeah, you made $100, $200 maybe.
Yeah, I mean, if that Darth Maul Phantom Menace 3 is at least a 9.8, I mean, hate to say it that way, but if you got a 9.8 contender there, then that's a $100 book. But there was a time.
Yeah. Honestly,
was
Chris,
like,
they actually look pretty decent. I mean, they stored them in that milk crate and they didn't move. Like they were all like packed in there. So I didn't look at the back, but the front looks great.
Yeah. I mean, it's first Mace Windu, so.
So all these, even like these Hughes covers look great. So I don't know, this one's got a little thing on it, but I mean the rest, they look well done. You know what I'm saying? Like these all look great. Where it's like, he didn't read them or he just collected and never read them, or read them once and
was very meticulous. Do well. They always do well.
Yeah. So that's what I do. So
heck yeah.
Yeah. So that's my little pickup of the day. So the guy who never picks up stuff. So my new job starts tomorrow, but there's a comic book shop like 5 minutes away. So eventually I will stroll over there and see what the dealio is there.
Nice. Can't beat that.
Super excited about that. But that's all I got. Me and Carter, you working tomorrow?
I might be going to a graduation tomorrow. So but I think I might be getting out on time in time.
Whatever.
So
hey man, how was your suit? I know everyone in the comments at our last show. So if you didn't watch the last show, me and Carter spent the first 25 minutes of the Tuesday show talking about suits and trying to find suits for him for Mike's christening. They go well.
Yeah. I look good.
Yeah, man. So yeah, everybody hated that. People were like 25 minutes, fucking fast forward that shit.
Yeah, we get distracted.
I mean, it's fine. So I gotta help my brother in arms out. So and then Sunday so if you're in Cleveland during SummerSlam weekend, NeoCon's on Sunday. I'm going with Carter. I gotta convince with the wife, so I just gotta be able to get back in time for Monday. So,
got a weekend pass.
I did get a weekend pass, so I'm excited. Let's go. I'm excited. I gotta get my fit game up for what I'm gonna wear for SummerSlam for Cool. All right. That's all I got. Anybody else got anything before we kind of toss it off? Cool. Okay. No, tomorrow, me and Carter maybe, and then back to Monday, Tuesdays. Obviously, I put a post out if people are looking to get on a channel. Obviously, we can always add a few heads if we're appreciative. I know Gabriel Nuna. That's a way back name we never think about. Mr. European himself. He's down to come on a couple shows, a couple other people. So super excited. And that's all I got. So if other people, hit up me on the comments, Instagram right there. If you're interested, we can hang out and shoot the shit.
Heck yeah.
All right, guys. We'll talk to everybody later. We're gonna leave everybody. So see everybody. Deuces, everybody. Later.